What is going on, everybody? Today we're gonna go over United Airlines, ticker symbol UAL. This was a request from one of the members. Hey, can you do some airline stock? I can, and we will. With that being said, I cannot find the exact fair value of United Airlines. Two things why. Number one, you look here, earning per share trailing 12 months and negative $17, meaning you're gonna lose, you did lose $17 on average per share in 2020. So that's a negative number. And I looked at the analyst growth for the next 5 years, also a negative number, and negative plus negative, while it makes a positive in math, it makes a negative number, and I can't really find a fair value. What I can and will do is go over the financial statements so we can read financials for beginners, see what's going on, like a big picture of United Airlines, to make a clear decision. Should we buy, should we wait, or should we sell? In my opinion alone. We're also gonna go over the insiders, CEO, CFO, all those people, what they are doing. Are they buying more United Airlines? If they do, that's a good sign. If they don't, well, that's another sign as well. So with that being said, let's get started with United Airlines. So I'm in the analysis tab in Yahoo Finance, and of course current price, by the way, is 43 bucks. Harsh day today, just to open this Monday, 3.5% down. S&P 1.6 down, Dow Jones 300 points down, Nasdaq another 1.5% down. Irrelevant for this video, but just something to consider. We are around mid-December. Let's move on. I'm looking for this in the analyst. First of all, earning estimate, earning per share. You look here, average estimate. Current year average estimate, we saw minus 16, now I see minus 26.7, let's say $27. So you expected to lose 27 bucks per share in 2020, meaning that they think your average buying price was around 70 bucks. And if you bought at 70, now it's like at 43, you lost $27 per share. Leave a comment below if you bought at 70 or you bought at 20 bucks when it was lower around March, April. But next year, 2021, they expect to lose negative 4.73, let's say 5 bucks per share. So if you buy now at 43 bucks, you are expected, according to the analysts that are covering United Airlines, this is an important number, to lose $5 per share. Does it mean it's gonna go to 100 bucks? It's a possibility, but according to everyone that's covering United Airlines, you buy at 43, a year from now you should have $5 less per share, which is like, that's the numbers. I'm not listening to people on YouTube and TikTok telling me, you know what, airlines are cheap. Okay, you can say that, prove it. Well, the only thing to prove it is reading financials, see the numbers, and see what the insiders are doing. Not just airlines are cheap because the price looks cheap. That doesn't work like that. It could get cheaper. Let's move on. I want to show you something very bad, in my opinion at least, guys. Look at this, earning per share trend. How the stock, the earning per share, you remember that number 473? Let's go back to this one. You can see current estimate next year you're gonna lose $4.73 per share, let's say 5 bucks. But if you look here at the bottom, 90 days ago, only 3 months ago, the expectation were to be a negative 0.6 bucks. Let's say half a dollar. Let's see. So the price is 43. They expected, all the analysts that covering United Airlines, for the company to like stabilize and not really move in price and end the year around the same, give or take a negative 6 cents, 60 per share. That was 3 months ago. Move on, 2 months ago, and that got revised to the negative to $2.45, let's say 2.5 bucks, from 60 cents negative to $2.5 negative, just a month later, 2 months ago. It's not good. And then another 30 days past, 30 days ago, they revised it yet again to the negative of minus 4.23. That's not good either. So they're thinking that the stock will lose from 60 cents to $2.5 to now $4.3, Fast forward to today, 30 days after that, current estimate to 4.7 bucks. So in 90 days, in 3 months, they went from a stable year of losing 60 cents per share to losing almost 5 bucks per share next year. No one is saying they're going to jump to 100 bucks, 90 bucks. They're saying that instead of stable year, they're gonna lose 5 bucks per share. Okay, do with this information as you will. Let's move on. Looking here at the growth estimate, we got the next 5-year growth. We got a negative 23%. That's the number that I like to see as a positive, so I can actually do something with that and find a fair value. They're thinking that in the next 5 years, the company will grow by an average of 23% negative per year for the next 5 years. Compared to the last 5 years, let's say 2014 to 2019, they grew by 2% per year. So going from, and that's super slim margin. So growing by 2% per year to a negative 23% per year for the next 5 years, in my opinion, is not a good time to buy a stock. You know, it's just not a good time. Not. It's your call. But this number makes me laugh. Next year, the growth estimate is 82%. So the analysts are thinking, you know what? They grew by 2% per year pre-corona, but now everything is fine. So in 2021, instead of 2% or even 5% growth or 10%, they will grow by 80%. Sure. Let's give them that. Also, when you see numbers, don't believe all the numbers that you see. I don't see them growing by 80% next year. Just my opinion. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay, here, guys. Analyst price target according to 20 analysts that are covering United Airlines. Average price 47 bucks. Current price is 43, with a low estimate of 32 and a high estimate of 62. So again, someone is very optimistic at 62, someone is pessimistic at 32. I'm not touching that, at least not for now, at 43. Look in here, downgrade, 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 all in December. JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, Wolf Research, all downgrade. One upgrade, which is interesting, in November by Mr. Raymond James. Another 2 initiated, meaning 2 new analysts that covering United Airlines. Jeffrey saying move it to a hold, not a buy, hold. And BNP Paribas say that it's underperform, not outperform, underperform. It's not a good sign. You know, it is what it is. Deutsche Bank buy to hold, JP Morgan overweight to underweight, Wolf Research peer perform to underperform. It's not a good sign. The only thing that's a good positive, Mr. Raymond James, market perform to outperform. I don't know what he sees, Mr. Raymond James, but he's like unique in the sea of red. Let's move on to the financial statement and read them just like any beginners can read financial. Let's go. So I'm in the financial tab right now. I'm going over income statement first of all, then balance sheet, then cash flow. Let's start with the income statement. I see total revenue, guys. Just at a glance, I see I don't care about the last couple of years. I only care about the last 12 months. In 2019, the revenue was 43 billion. And then the last 12 months, it went down to 22 billion. They lost $20 billion. They lost $20 billion. Half, 50% of their revenue, let that sink in. 50% of their revenue got lost. That's not a good sign. For a gross profit of negative 600 million compared to 12.5 billion. So they lost, after 20 billion revenue, gross $13 billion loss in a year. Look what the year does. Moving from 12.5 gross positive to a negative 600 million. That's a lot of money. I'm gonna calculate probably in the cash flow how much they're losing per day or per month. We're gonna see that. Scroll all the way down here, net income. We got positive 3 billion into a negative 4.5 billion. So they lost net $7.5 billion. Lost $7.5 billion in a, it's not $100 bucks. $7.5 billion losing in a year. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, you know. That's Let's see what else I'm in the cash flow. I went to the balance sheet and I didn't see a trailing 12 months, so I can't really do anything. The last update was for 2019. So I'm going over the cash flow and I'm looking for a couple of things. Number one, operating cash flow. Look at this. They went from almost $7 billion positive to a negative of almost $800 million from the operation, from selling tickets, flying, all that good stuff. They lost almost $8 billion, 7.7. I'm going to take my calculator to show you how extreme this is. What does it mean? This is very extreme. Take the calculator out, okay? They lost $7.7 billion in the last 12 months. And you divide it by 365 days, guys. Click enter. Let that number sink in. They are losing, okay? They are losing $21 million a day. United Airlines, let me say that again, is losing $21 million a day. It's not sustainable. As long as they're operating and working, they should shut down. But as long as they're operating and working and nothing changing the economy and their business doesn't grow, they are still losing $21 million a day. This is not a good sign at all. Let's move. I'm looking here, issue of debt. That's a very alarming number to me. They issue a debt of almost $14 billion. Okay, in the last 12 months. Let's start with the year before, 2019. They issued a debt of 1.8 billion, and then they paid 1.4 billion debt, so they just refinanced the debt. They got like $400 million extra, which in return, plus the money that they made, that they did like $1.6 billion in buybacks, repurchase of capital stock, and they still had $2.4 billion excess free cash flow. That was a great year, 2019. Fast forward 12 months later, instead of taking $1.8 billion debt, they took on a giant loan of $14 billion debt, 13.7. What they did with that, they did a payment of a debt of $1.6 billion, probably this debt, to refinance, so they have like extra $12 billion left. From that $12 billion left, they paid like half a billion dollar in buybacks, so they have $11.5 billion plus from issuing a debt, from taking a loan, $11.5 billion. And after that, they're still cash flow negative of $3.6 billion, meaning they lost about $15 billion in the last 12 years, which we saw in the gross profit, which was around $14 billion. That's how they come up with that number. They took a giant loan of $14 billion. And that loan, my friend, in my opinion only, of course, is gonna cripple the share price, is gonna stagnate the share price, is gonna hurt the shareholders. You don't just take a $14 billion loan and then disappear and you don't pay it off. You're gonna pay that either by raising the ticket prices, and then people will go to other companies because they're not the only game in town. There's United, they are United. There's American Airlines, there's Delta. So if they're selling a price of a ticket for $100, they need to sell it for like $120 to take that $20 and pay. They need to raise the price for like $120, and if they do that, then all the other competition will sell at $100, and that's not profitable. That's option number one, bad option. Option number two, they still sell at $100, okay, but in order to pay $20 per sale to the debt of $14 billion, they're probably gonna either lay off a lot of people, get more upsells of less baggage, more fees, less space for your legs, more upsells, pay for water cup. Whatever the case is, the service for the not the shareholder, for the retail customer that actually want to fly United Airlines will be less quality than what it is today, all in order to actually pay off that giant $14 billion debt. You gotta see the numbers. Don't just listen to TikTok and YouTube. See the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Let's move on to see what the insiders are doing with United Airlines. So I'm here in the United Airlines basically open insider. This is the title, SEC Form 4 Insider Trading Screener. Let's see what the big guys, CEO, CFO, what they are doing. And basically, guys, a good time to say that if I bring you any value, don't forget to subscribe, click that bell notification, leave a comment below which stock would you like me to do next. And if you already are a shareholder of United Airlines or thinking about buying United Airlines, let me know in the comment below which was your average buy price. Just say I bought at 20 bucks, I bought at 70 bucks, I bought at 50, I bought at 30, or I'm thinking about buying. Thank you for this video. So I'm looking here. First, a positive thing. Director in December 8th, Mr. Michael Hopper, EP, purchase. Price of 49 bucks, 48.99. Mr. Michael Hopper actually bought for $93,000. That's a good sign. However, if you look here, look at November, that's horrible. And I'm looking at 2020. I don't care a year before. Nothing changed from Corona happened 2020. The November 25th, November 20, November 20, November 20, November 20, November 20, November 20, and then two more in July. We got sale, 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 and sale. Does that mean you need to buy United Airlines? You make your own decision. What happened here? Let's see who did what. So Kate Gebo, Kirby Scott, CEO. Kate Gebo, Earning Vice President of HR. Jonathan Reutemann, Earning Vice President of COO. Linda Jojo, Earning Vice President of Tech, Chief Financial Officer. Executive Mr. Oscar Munoz, Executive COB. Gerard Latterman, Earning Vice President CFO. Andrew Nokela, Earning Vice President Chief Commercial Officer. Edward Shapiro, Director and Director. All sell. Look at those numbers: 260,000, 2 million, 120,000, 800,000, 4.6 million, 400,000, $1 million, 996,000, $5.2 million, $840,000. All sell. And before that, we got 2019. All those people, Executive Vice President, CEO, CFO, EV directors, selling. Only positive that I see is that finally someone actually bought United Airlines, Mr. Michael Hopper. Feel free to email Mr. Scott Kirby. He sold on November 20. What happened in November 20? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales in a row in November 20. You think that the insiders know more than you and the media that telling you, hey, go buy some airline tickets because it's cheap. Maybe Jim Cramer said it on CNBC. Follow the money, follow the numbers. You will be a better investor in the long term. If I bring you guys any value, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment which stock would you like me to do next. I hope this was valuable. A big picture of United Airlines. Not a financial advice, but I'm not buying unless I see improvement in earning per share trend, in growth, for positive growth in the next 5 years, in the giant loan. Maybe they took that 14 billion loan in November 20. I don't know when they took that loan, but unless that loan is getting chucked a lot down, I'm not buying. This is not a buy for me at 43 bucks. If it goes to $90 next year because it's all-time high again, so be it. I'd rather not invest and maybe lose than lose on a chance to go. In my opinion, the direction of United Airlines as of today is more down for the next at least a year, if not more, than up. I see more downside than upside. Not a financial advice. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Yeah.